Sometimes people will ask the question, if narcissists feel any love whatsoever, is there anything about these people in which you can find even the slightest bit of love? And my answer is yeah. Narcissists love to be jerks. And one of the things they love to do more than anything else is they love to skirt responsibility. So let's take a look at 6 ways that narcissists do this. And as you stop and think about the narcissists who have been in your life, those narcissists who are in your life at this very moment, stop and think about these things and see if you can't detect them in the lives, or the behavior rather, of your narcissist. Number 1 is this. They like to skirt responsibility by asking or by stating something to the effect that it's just a big misunderstanding. In other words, when they are found out, when they are discovered to be dishonest, when they are discovered to be lying to you or cheating on you or scamming you or doing something behind your back or maybe slandering you, they always have an excuse. It's almost as if they become, I don't want to say masters at making excuses, because sometimes the excuses they come up with, they're really kind of lame. But they will make excuses. So they will say, this is a big misunderstanding. Let me explain to you what really happened. Okay, I had a guy who I think was a narcissist who stole thousands of dollars of books from me and sold them for scrap. Now, these were newly printed books, ready for the marketplace. Probably, $50,000 in face value, retail value, and he just stole them and sold them for scrap. But he had a big story to make up for it, to explain for it. He said, he told the police after I called him, he said, according to the police, that I gave them to him. Why in the world would I do something that stupid? Didn't matter. So, okay, so he had an excuse. It's a big misunderstanding. It doesn't have to make sense. It can be an extremely lame excuse, but they would rather give a lame excuse than give no excuse for all. So, the narcissist that you have had to deal with in your life, what excuse or excuses do they use after they scam or screw you over? Number 2 is this. They will make sure that everyone understands it is your mistake. For example, these are the type of people that will trip someone and then accuse them of being clumsy, So these are the type of people that will steal from you and say, that's okay, he gave it to me, or I just borrowed it and I'm going to give it back, no problem. It's always your mistake. Somehow they can take the blame and shift it to you unless there is a positive outcome. Then they'll do just the opposite. You do something very positive that has a positive outcome, and they'll take credit for it. Outside of that, if it has a negative output, negative outcome, they will shift the blame to you or maybe to somebody else. Number 3 is, I love this one, because I have heard it so often, and that is they will accuse you of being arrogant. Now, this is just classic projection, right? So, I've had narcissists in my life, and they love to accuse not just me, but anybody and everybody of being arrogant. Now, the narcissists that I have known, most of them would not accuse others of being narcissistic because, quite frankly, I'm not sure they even know what it means. I mean, they didn't spend a whole lot of time educating themselves on much of anything other than how to scam people. So, chances are they're not going to accuse other people of being narcissists, but who knows? They may very well do that. So that's one of the ways that they are going to skirt responsibility by saying, the problem is that Ken is arrogant, or you, whatever your name is, you are arrogant. Number 4, they'll also say that you are inconsiderate, or maybe they will say that you're just ungrateful. So they're posturing themselves as somebody who has enhanced your life, somebody who has blessed your life by virtue of their very presence. Now, the narcissists that I have known, most of them, I should say, they honestly believe that. They think that they have so much value, so much virtue, just by virtue that they are who they are, that if they are in the presence of anyone else, they are somehow, and there's almost a spiritual aspect to this, but they're almost blessing those people just by being around them. And when they want to punish those people, for whatever reason, one of the ways they will punish them is they will give them the silent treatment. Or there will go no contact for a while to make sure this person understands it, that he or she was wounded or offended, and now you're going to have to pay for it by not having the narcissist around. I found that kind of a cool little trick if you want to get rid of the narcissist. Say something offensive. Then they give you the quiet treatment, or they will gray rock you, or they will ghost you, or they will disappear. And if they come back, do it again. Next thing you know, they start disappearing more frequently and more often, which is what you want them to do because, the narcissist, the whole thing about them is they want to enhance their ego, inflate their ego. And they do that at your expense. And if you're not doing that, they have no use for you. They want to get away from you. So that's a nifty little trick to get rid of narcissists. Just don't play their game. And when you see something they're doing that is offensive, then make sure that they are the ones who become offended and they disappear. They also do this. They will implicitly or explicitly say that I can't be wrong. I say implicitly because I don't think many narcissists will just flat out say I cannot be wrong, but they will imply it by their very actions. And you know that because they argue with just about everything, even if it's silly. It's something that is trivial. It really doesn't matter, but they have to win the argument. They have to make sure no matter what you're doing. I like to use the example of opening a box. I don't know why, someone did this to me once, and you're opening a box, and now they take it away from you. Let me show you how to open the box. They can't be wrong. You can't. The flip side of that is you can't be right. So whatever you do, whatever you say, no, you're wrong. I'm right. Even if you're right, and they're obviously wrong, they don't care. That's not the consideration. So that was number 6. By the way, therefore, you must be wrong. All right, so what is the solution to all of this? Well, let's stop and think about it for just a moment. Narcissists are by their very nature disagreeable. Outside of the initial love bombing, the initial grooming phase, that's a time when they fake agreeableness. But outside of that, they're very disagreeable. And agreeableness is rooted in reality. In other words, if we both agree on what is real, then we don't disagree, right? Unless we have a distorted view of reality, which is what a narcissist has. And he will intentionally distort, or she will intentionally distort reality because they want to disagree. Because it is in disagreement that they are able to devalue you and overvalue themselves to boost their ego at your expense. So they tend to be very disagreeable. All right, so what is the solution to all this? Well, it's really kind of simple. Just know what the truth is. And I understand that sometimes the truth, the absolute truth, is obscured. It's why we have courts. It's why we have a judicial system to try to sort out the facts from the lies, whose story is true. But if the objective is to learn the truth, not to score points, which is what the narcissist is doing, but to learn the truth, then you really don't have to worry about it so much because you are on the side of truth. And the narcissist, well, very seldom are they unless it somehow, some way benefits them. So what are we saying here? We're saying that there are ways that a narcissist will manipulate you so that they can sidestep responsibility. See those 2 rectangles on the screen? Let's keep talking. If you'd like, just click one of those 2 rectangles and the conversation will continue. But if not, thanks for stopping by and see you all next time.